Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Will's Mediumship and Numerology channel. If you're new to my channel, I certainly appreciate both your viewership as well as your subscriptions. Okay, so today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a special guest. Okay, and this reading is being posted as a belated type birthday gift. Okay, and the person we are or that we have the pleasure of interviewing today is the one and only Tupac Shakur. Okay. Many of you know that he was an American rapper, and of course, his birthday recently passed, June 16th. He was a very, very influential rapper, and his parents were political activists, particularly in the Black Panther Party. And we also know that in 1996, he was killed by drive-by homicide. Okay, so what I like to do is to channel Mr. Shakur through, okay, and to have him address a few questions that I have written that I'd like to ask him. And then we're gonna do this reading in two parts, ladies and gentlemen. The first part is gonna include just simply the interview. And the second part, I'm going to go on and just engage him into deeper questions that I'm sure many of us are, or we have been hoping to gain insight into his passing. Hopefully, these questions will, and the answers he gives, will give us more clarity on what really happened in this situation. So that's gonna be part B, lingering questions. Okay. So I'm going to be using a variety of tools today in order to do this reading. I'm going to select a card out of my African American tarot deck that I feel symbolizes him best. At first, because he was a Gemini, I was considering the King of Swords, but Spirit is telling me to consider the King of Chalices here instead here. All right, so I'm going to go on and just select that card right now. Okay, let's see here. As we go through this reading, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this reading, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Share with others to whom you think might benefit. And be sure to press that subscription button so that you receive all future readings. Okay, I found the King of Chalice here. All right. I'm going to also use my dominoes here in order to just get some general impressions when it comes to his attributes as well, ladies and gentlemen. So prior to actually doing this reading, I'm going to go on and just do a quick prayer, okay, so that I can get my mind in tune to what's about to happen here. And then, as I said, we're going to go on and just ask Mr. Shakur questions and see what he might have to say to his family. Okay? So, dear God, dear Holy Spirit, Jesus, Mother Mary, Mother and Father and Spirit, and all of my angels, I ask that you watch over this experience, making certain that only the messages of God will come through. Please protect not only myself, but Mr. Shakur as he arrive from any malevolent thou energies. Please help me release my ego fears so that I can clearly see, clearly hear, clearly feel, and know the messages that Mr. Shakur wants to impart to not only myself but to the world at large. I ask that only the highest of messages come through. All right. So as said, as indicated, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start off with just pulling a few towels here for my dominoes, just to get a sense of Mr. Shakur's attributes, and we can kind of figure out if we're actually talking to the correct spirit here. Okay. So I'm going to allow Mr. Shakur to guide my hands here to the correct towel that best represents him. So I'm going to select 3 towels. Okay, we have 2 and 3 here. So that's certainly giving me a very, very strong indication, ladies and gentlemen, that he was, in fact, a very emotional type person. So choosing this King of Chalice here was right on point here, I feel. He was very sensitive on getting very emotional and very fond of things within his home. Okay. He was also a bit more materialistic than spiritual, if you will. Okay. He was a bit of an investigator that I'm kind of feeling here. And then we have the blank and the 6. So the blank here certainly shows that he was just like, almost just like the fool and tarot. For those of you who are familiar with tarot, he was very adventurous, and he often made irrational decisions. He was never someone who liked to be stuck just doing the same thing over and over and over again here. And of course, the 6 here shows that many saw him as very attractive, very refined and very sociable. He always seemed to bring out a crowd here that I'm getting. Okay. Let's select one more towel here, and then we're going to get right on into the reading. We have another 6 and 2, okay? So that just further emphasizes the fact that people saw him very gentle, good looking, and, a person that was very, very emotional here. So let's add up these numbers and see if we can come up with a number that we have yet to discuss. So we have 12, 14, 16, 19. So 9 plus 1, right? It's 10. And 1 plus 0 is 1. So he was a driving force. He was a leader, you know? But it looks like that he had a problem. He had a tendency. He was very impatient that I'm getting here. That spirit is showing me here when it comes to his personality on matters. Okay? So I'm going to go on and just put these dominoes down here. All right? And then I'm going to go on and just ask Mr. Shakur more specific questions. Okay? So let's go on and just get the card here to represent him once again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like this reading, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Share it with others to whom you think might benefit. And be sure to press that subscription button, okay? So, my initial impression here that I'm getting is he appears, ladies and gentlemen, a bit stressed. And it looks like he's reevaluating why things had to really happen the way they did. It seems as if, almost just as if he's still recuperating from the injuries I'm getting, if you will. He's saying that prior to his demise, he felt very, very overworked and a bit ill. And he says that he had been ill for a very long period of time, but he really didn't want to tell anybody that he had been, because just as he's saying, and everybody saw me as strong-willed. So he kind of kept tight-lipped, if you will. He's very happy that his pain, however, has finally ended, but it looks like he's in vacillation mode, and he's really not ready to move on, ladies and gentlemen. He's sadly, though, watching the world. He's showing me here. So, Mr. Shakur, could you just tell me a bit more about yourself? Both positive and negative things about you. Well, certainly he's given me that strong feeling that he was very sensitive, compassionate. He said he was a secretive type kind here and very nurturing, cultured, a bit liberated, okay? Empathetic here. He's also showing me that he had a playful attitude. Again, there's zero here. He might have been a bit immature to some people, okay? Manipulative, self indulgent, even a calm man or has narcissistic tendencies or had heart narcissistic tendencies and addictive behaviors. Certainly a womanizer or a gigolo type here. He's showing me all of those qualities about himself. So, how did you actually die, Mr. Shakur? Even though we do know how you die, or just tell us issues surrounding your death. He's saying, ladies and gentlemen, that he didn't get regular checkups. He's even though we know that he died from the wounds associated with being shot. He's still saying that he was also sick prior to that here, and he didn't get regular checkups. And before his death, he says that he was acting like a fool. He's saying, and he's showing me the parts or injury to his upper body, problems even with his eye area as well here that I'm kind of getting, picking up here. Okay. So next question, Mr. Shakur. Okay. Since spirit tend to visit us in a myriad of ways, how do you make your presence known? He's given me a strong indication that since, or the a strong impression that since he was in fact a team player when he was alive, he now loves, it seems, working with others and really helping them develop their craft. It's almost just as if he's showing me someone at the apprentice stage that he's like he wants to help and he likes helping people just starting. He says he loves helping people who really have been working to also to improve themselves, including those in school or perhaps even working towards a degree. Because he's certainly showing me that he had also like an A type personality, more of a perfectionist when living, I feel. Mr. Shakur, is there something you want to say or ask? Okay. He certainly wants to let us know, ladies and gentlemen, that he was very courageous, brave, and he felt protected, during the time of his death. And he's saying, although he doesn't want to make the decision to move on just yet, he really wants his family and friends to know that he's all right and he feels inner peace. He doesn't want anyone to continue to mourn, over his loss here because it seems that, like I said, when people die very quickly here, sometimes they just really don't want to go. And that's understandable, ladies and gentlemen. He felt that he was just taken too soon, and in fact, in our eyes, he was, but from a spiritual sense, he was taken exactly the time that he and God agreed prior to his return here to Earth. Okay. So, Mr. Shakur, let's go on to our next question. Can I help you move on in any way? Okay, now I know you seem a bit reluctant here. All right. Now he's kind of a bit wishy-washy, ladies and gentlemen, but he's telling me, rest assured that you're gonna have to fight me to get me to go. He said he'll move on when he's ready. All right. All right. And it's kind of funny because he's almost showing me, I don't know, this is the second time that this has happened. The image of Oprah saying all her life she had to fight. So he's like saying all his life he had to fight. He had to fight for loved ones, their possessions, to be recognized for the person that he really was. And he embraced a rather unconventional approach to living, okay? And people just couldn't understand things. And he wants his family to know that the way that he tries to get their attention is that he plays with electrical appliances, the lights, and things of that nature, or moves things like keys or things of that nature. Like you may know that you've placed something, an item, in one spot, you leave and come back, it's not there, and then you leave and it's right there where you actually know you left it. So, Mr. Shakur, tell me something I wouldn't know that might have recently happened or will happen to your family here. Wow, I'm seeing it. And it seems that I've been seeing this image a lot too when I ask this question, ladies and gentlemen. It seems quite plausible that someone might have recently given birth or conceived. I also see a baby. It looks like it's a baby boy I'm getting. He's also showing me that someone appears to be going through a legal debacle, or if they've been going through one, it seems that it's going to end victoriously. Okay, he's showing me someone who recently even got married or soon will, and even someone graduating with honors. I'm kind of seeing here in this reading. So, Mr. Shakur, are you with other deceased family members or relatives? He said he's with three, ladies and gentlemen. I see a woman, a small child, and a man. I don't know whether the child is a girl or a boy, but it's a small child. She's slumped over, okay, in some way. I just can't really see her or his face. Now, what urgent message, Mr. Shakur, would you like your family to know at this time? Okay? He certainly wants his family to know that luck is certainly on their side here, and to understand that radical changes are going to be coming about. Karma is a bitch, he says, so expect an auspicious turn of events when it comes to his case. All right? And he's saying, too, strongly, he wants his family to really remain confident, enthusiastic, and understand that the universe has their back. He's showing me someone professional from a distance coming to help, perhaps with this case I'm getting. It might be someone younger, I'm kind of feeling it. Perhaps, ladies and gentlemen, a fire sign or just a fiery temperament type person, an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. He wants you, family, to take risks, be daring, and be up for a challenge. Okay? He's saying it's now or never. All right? He's very excited about what is to come, despite the fact that he's having trouble, moving on here. But he's not stuck or anything. He's not just lingering. It seems more like he's just watching from the sidelines. Okay? So, what I like to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to shuffle up my oracle cards here to just offer the family a few more messages, as well as messages to those of us who may have been close to him, or just to just hear what messages he's like to share. So, Mr. Shakur, please guide my hands to the correct 6 messages that you like to not only share with the world, but also to your family. But collectors, these cards are mostly suitable for messages to extend to the family to provide some solace. Okay? So let's start off with the first message here. He wants you to know, just as I said, it certainly was his time to go. You know? And things certainly, ladies and gentlemen, happen for a reason. Next message. He's saying that his mind is now free. That's certainly welcoming to hear because throughout the reading, you've heard that he was so much in pain, constantly going through conflict. So now his mind is free. Next message. And he wants people to know that, particularly his family, it's not your fault. There's nothing that you could have done any differently to have prevented what happened. So please get that out of your mind. Next message. He wants his family to know that he always give you a good night kiss. Okay? And some of you might have been feeling a sensation that's coming across your lips here, family. Next message. He wants you to know that since his death, he's been sending loving signs through nature. Birds, tree, caterpillars, butterflies. Look for those things in nature and you'll know it's me. And last message today, ladies and gentlemen, he wants you to know, just to confirm what I've already asked, he is with the rest of the family. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the message, or Tupac's message. Mr. Shakur, I will be inviting you back very soon for part B, okay? We're going to be doing that. I'm going to consider the questions that I like to ask you carefully, okay? So that we can have a productive interview, okay? So this will be part B. Thanks so much for joining me in this session, okay? And ladies and gentlemen, should you wish to have a more personalized reading, you can certainly access my website to purchase your reading there, or you can send an email, okay? Thanks a lot for your time, and remember to give this reading a big thumbs up and subscribe if you've yet to subscribe. Thanks a lot for your time.